Hi everybody, it's Spring with Soaps and Suds and such, and today I'm making a hot process soap. This is an herbal, and what I have in here is my, it's a tea actually, an herbal tea, and it has been froze, and this is the way that I do this soap. I will not give the recipe for this one. This is one of the soaps that when I first started making soaps, this is one that I formulated myself and have been doing ever since. And I know I'm probably going to get loads of comments on how I could do it faster because I am doing a hot process, or how I could make it more liquefied. I already know all that. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I know how to make my soaps pourable. I know how to make them swirlable. And I know how to do it quick in a crock pot, but this is the way I've always done this soap, and my customers love it. Just a plain looking soap, nothing fancy. But it does contain 23 or 24, something or other. It's over 20 different herbs. And it's a very long process of whenever I actually do my herbal oil that I will be putting into this, and my tea that goes into it, because I do make those prior to and do freeze those. So I've got that in there, and I've got my lye right here, and I usually don't show me mixing the lye and the whatever I'm using, and I just kind of just move it around a little bit. That's about all you can do with this, because like I said, it is froze. And you have to be careful because that lye will come out. And sometimes I use a bigger container for this one. And if you're new to soap making and you want to use a herbal tea and you're using, quite a good amount of frozen tea, then you might want to use a bigger container. I've got a tea container I actually use lots of times, and I am using sodium hydroxide lye from Nature's Garden. I actually like theirs. I don't get a lot of that static from theirs, and I hate that static that you get with loads of them. And I just like to just move it around, and you do have to be careful. Like I said, if you're new to soap making, you might want to wear sleeves. Definitely wear your gloves, your eye protection. If you have breathing problems and you're not outside, or you don't have like a overhead stove fan that you can mix under, then you might want to wear a mask. And if I were using goat milk, not the powder, I'm talking about the actual milk, I would have it froze, and I would be mixing it exactly the way I'm mixing this. Or sometimes with goat milk, I will have a like an ice bath, a bowl with ice in it, or either do it in my kitchen sink and fill it full of ice and put that under my goat milk, or any milk, buttermilk, any of those. I like to have a good ice bath under it. But and you don't know how much of this actually makes it through the lye solution to actually benefit the soap. But with it being frozen, you have a better chance, in my opinion. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not a professional. I've been soaping for a long time, but, I'm still not a professional. I'm one of those that does things my way. And I've tried loads of different things, tried loads of ways of doing stuff, making different things. I am on YouTube, but I haven't had a YouTube channel that long. I think it was 2016. Now, I've been making stuff a whole lot longer. I didn't even know anything about YouTube for a very long time. And my children brought that to my attention. And I guess you might say they're the reason I kind of started the YouTube channel, actually. Yeah, they are. I'm not real good on computers and anything like that, but I do my best. But if you can see that, that is melting down nicely. I like to just give it a good stir, just keep it going. And you know, by all means, if you want a more liquid hot process, I mean, you can take out part of your water content or even tea content if you wanted to. Now me, this soap, I like it the way I do it. Everyone likes it. So I kind of just keep it the way it is. I mean, if you make a product and people love it and you yourself are happy with it, then I don't go messing with those products. And this one will have, there will be little pieces of herb in this. But that's the way I've always done it. Just take me a day. It takes me at least a whole day to do my tea. And I've got 2 soaps that take a ridiculous amount of time. And what I usually do is take a whole day to do like my teas for those, and I will freeze loads of bags of this solution, you know, this tea, and the one for my other one, which is my itch away soap. And then my oils that I actually, you know, am going to super fat with in these soaps takes me a good amount of time. But of course now I make gallon-sized jars of that because I go through these soaps quite often. And this, you know, both of these soaps, as far as using a tea in them, I will not use a tea all year round. If I run out of the tea, you know, that you're seeing right now, and it's winter or something and I can't get my herb, then it will not have the tea aspect to it. But it doesn't, you know, lessen the soap any. It's still, they still like it. It still does what, you know, they like. So that's all I can tell you. But you can see that is totally melted down and incorporated. And I'm going to take you in and you know, I'm hoping, I'm wanting to just pour this. I'm trying to feel if it's hot enough, and I'm thinking it may not be. So I may have to melt down my a few of my oils right quick, and then I will get to blending and bring you back for the cook. Okay, I'm back. Now I'm going to put my lye solution in here, like so. Just pour it in. Just going to turn it brown. I want to get all that in there. Okay. Now I'm going to give this a stir. Just a little bit. And you'll see little particles floating around in there. That's herb. Doesn't hurt the soap. Just adds to it, to be honest with you. Okay. This is one I have to watch because it will, well, any hot process you have to watch them like a hot, because they'll overgo. But This is one I really have to, because you see how full it is. Now I'm going to get ready and blend. Okay, and now I like to stir this one. I know I don't have to, and but that's the way I do it. So I'm just showing you how I make this herbal soap. And sometimes I'll blend it even thicker than that, but most of the time I do it about this thickness. But you can certainly learn a lot from, if you watch a lot of YouTube or getting on the internet. And I've sure done my share of research. I mean, I'm totally into herbs, so, of course I was fortunate enough to know quite a bit already, but I always like to learn more, so research is always good. Okay, now I'm going to, I've already got it on. I'm going to go ahead and cap it and just let it do its thing. It's not really doing anything right yet, but it will. And I've still got to make some more modeling soap. Don't know whether I'll video or not. I may. Just according. May video making it and then molding it on video and showing if it's, you know, very workable or not. So I'll have to watch it really good because it's starting to do that all the way around, and I'll have to remove this, and I will have to stir it down as soon as it really starts because I don't want a volcano. And with hot process, if you haven't made it before, you can get a volcano, believe me, and you don't want that. Okay, if you can see that, it is really starting to heat up now. And all we have left is on this side right here, everything's starting to liquefy around in there. And that's the way I want this one to do. So I'll bring you back. Okay, now is when I really have to start really watching it because it is up on this side over here. Once it starts folding in a little bit, that's when I'm going to start stirring. It won't be too much longer. And I will start stirring it. But it'll take just a little bit. If you can see, it's got a puddle started right there. So shouldn't be too much longer, but I have uncovered it. Okay, if you can see that, I'm going to stir it now. So we've got that puddle there in the center and it's starting to really come up on the sides. And I don't want it to come out, so therefore I will stir. But if you can see how that looks. Now, to me, that looks amazing. I mean, that's just soap making. It's kind of like magic. You can have it one way 1 second and totally different the next second. Just by mixing oils, butters, or, you know, with lye solution. Whether you use, you know, like a food grade lye, or some people use the like lye like you'd pour in your, you know, commode or something. And then other people use wood ash. And wood ash, you know, will make wonderful soap. Like, say, your African black soap. You know, it's not made with commercial lye. And that, you know, is a wonderful soap. And many of us here, we do our own versions of it. But unless you can get, you know, every ingredient that they use, it's not going to be just like it is from when you order it from Africa. And but it, you know, is used, you know, made with ash. Simply making a caustic water using the ash. And you know, many people think, no, I wouldn't do that. But what did they used to do? Back, you know, way long time ago, before they had your commode, whatever you call it, drain cleaner, there you go, made out of lye. They used ash. And now we're lucky enough that we have also got food grade lye. You know, does that mean you can eat it? No, can't eat it. It'll kill you. But no, the way I understood that was that when you buy it being food grade, it has only, you know, the lye that you use has been run through those machines. Now, this is just my understanding. I don't know whether, you know, that's true or not. And that the drain cleaner lye, I've been told, you know, many different, what do you call it? Different drain things, you know, that they use in drains have been run through the same machine. That's what I was told. Now, whether that's true or false, I have no clue. But as for me, I prefer to use the food grade. But they all work. I have used the other, and you know, and the wood ash works. But that's just my thoughts on it, you know, and what I've been told and what I've read and stuff of that nature. I've got a little bit of soap here that came off of that, and I want to put it back in there. I don't like to lose any of this soap. This one got so many herbs in it. And it is a wonderful soap. Just truly an amazing soap. Remove my lid. Stir that again. Now the herb that's in that causes a lot of color change in this soap. And we're not even done putting herb in it. Not yet. Okay, I'm going to let that do its thing. And I'll bring you back. No use in keeping you on here to, well, it's, if you can see right here, it's starting really bubbling. But there's no use in keeping you on here till it starts moving. I'll bring you back. Okay, if you can see what it's doing, we've got our puddle in the center, and it's starting to rise on the sides here. And that's what I want it to do. Like I said, though, you know, I'll have to watch it because I will have to stir it. If I was making a smaller batch, I could just let it flip constantly and just keep on and not worry as bad about it coming out. But you've seen the clearance whenever I added the lye solution to the oils, and I didn't have a whole lot of room up there, so I really have to watch it, and I have to stir it down sooner than I would a lot of them. And actually, you know, at this point I could blend it, you know, but pretty soon I'll be putting in my herbal oil. It looks similar to a butter, but once it melts, it just melts down normal. But it is an herbal mix that I make. But I think I'll leave this on just for a few minutes, so maybe it will do a little more and I can show you. But this one does a little bit different than most of them, but the ones I do. Probably the simple fact of making a bigger batch in this crock pot. I need to invest in me some larger ones, and many times I'll have, you know, 2 or 3 of them going, doing 2 or 3 different batches of soap. This is one, if I was smart, I would just do, you know, like a 20 or 22, probably about 22, I would say. No, probably about 20, probably 24 pounds, to be honest, in my big slab mold. If I was smart, I'd just use that and just do it and make several loaves at once. Because this is one that, you know, the person that's buying this one is buying the whole loaf. And that's mainly the way I sell this soap. Now, I have, you know, when I had it on Etsy and eBay a long time ago, I sold by the bar. And whenever I'd go to the sales, I would sell by the bar. But the customers that buy it all the time, they like to buy it by the loaf. Okay, we're going to have to stir. Okay, we're going to get ready and put our additives in, which is just our oil, our super fat, and if you can see it, here it is. It looks more like a herbal butter, but that is the way that I do my oils for this particular. You can see how green. It's got a lot of herb in it. Get all of that in there because that is what makes this soap what it is. Gotta have these herbs in there or it's just going to be plain soap if you don't. Or if I don't, because any herbal that you want to do, I mean, you know, I'm not, this is one that I do, but we'll stir that down in there like so, get it moving around. Now you can see how that's kind of coming up like mashed potatoes on certain areas. And now, yeah, I'm using a wooden spoon. I love wooden spoons. I love my spatulas. You can just use a stick if you wanted to. That's just like you can make soap without using a blender. You have to stir a lot, but yeah, you can do it. I had to stir mine a lot. So the blender makes it much, in my opinion, quicker and gets it moving and going along. Okay, we've got that in there. Now to put my last ingredient, give it a shake. This is a special, very special ingredient. And nope, I'm not going to tell you what it is, because this is one of the things that makes this soap special. Yeah, I do, there's several different herbals, but there's two that I kind of do in this method. And then I make many more. I do itch-away, let's see, itch-away, skin renewal. Then I have a rosemary, sage, which is wonderful. I love to use that one if I'm going to use any soap on my hair. That's one that I would choose. Really good, because rosemary is good for the hair, and sage is also, if you have dark hair like me. And then I do several other herbals. I love herbals. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to relid this, let it cook a little bit longer. Not a whole lot, but a little bit longer. And then we will be ready to put it into, into our mold. Okay, I've got my mold ready. I'm going to start by pouring some of this in here. And as you can see, it is pourable. Okay. Tap down. Okay. Find something else to put the rest of that in. Let me see what I can come up with right quick. Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, I did scrape this really good, and I actually got a little ball, soap ball, and I'm going to show you the bubbles that comes from this soap. They're really creamy, thick bubbles. You know, not the great big ones, but they're very, very creamy. You can see that. And this is a very moisturizing soap that has really wonderful bubbles. There we go. So I thought I'd just bring you back and show you that. And this is ready to use. I mean, after it hardens, you know, hot process, you can use it. Now, some of them, if you make them more liquefied, you know, you want them to set up harder, but these can actually be used right then. Mine usually, most of mine, I let them sit at least a week. Then the ones that, you know, I add the liquid more at the end and get a swirl out of, I may let them set longer. It's just according to the soap. Okay, hi everybody. This right here is done hardened up. I have to wait a little bit longer on the other, but if you can see, really pretty. And it's just a natural bar of soap, nothing fancy. And I won't have to trim anything on these, or even that. She doesn't want anything cut off of them, because this soap is a good soap, a really good soap, just for the medicinal purpose. You know, herbs may help somebody, they may not help someone else. It's just according to the person. But she wants it as is. So, but I'll have to wait to do the unmolding of the loaf soap and the cutting, and then I will video when I do it. Okay, it's about 4 hours later, and I'm ready to cut it. Okay, you can see that. Told you, just a rustic bar. Very good for the skin, though. I'm probably not going to show you all of these, but because they're basically all the same. I'll show you a couple more. Very conditioning soap. It has a whole lot of herb in it. But just a basic rustic bar. One more. There we are. Piece of glitter on that one. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please do click subscribe. And happy soaping.